Well, friends, I'm exhausted. I'm tired because I've been sort of chasing for the last 3.5 years on YouTube and Instagram and everything, chasing kind of that dream of what do people want to see? What's gonna get the likes? What's gonna get the engagement? What does Instagram love and not love? And YouTube and it's exhausting. And the other reason I'm exhausted is because I just filmed over the last 2 months my landscape course, which is launching in a couple weeks. It was like this huge push that I was like, I know I can do this, but it was really a lot. And then this last week I finished and I am depleted. Like creativity has whoosh. I don't know if you ever feel like that, where your creative side is just kind of, it's just done, but you want to create, but you can't. And it feels painful to think about it, but in this business, you have to keep creating. Because if you don't, you get forgotten about. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is I'm tired from all the stuff that I've been doing lately and also stuff in life, health stuff and family stuff, and life gets pretty messy. We're always trying to make this fabricated, beautiful, perfect looking life, and it doesn't exist. And I'm a therapist. I've heard some stories. I have my own stories. I'm not lying to you. And so over there, what is that? There it is. That's a chessboard. I played chess twice with my boy this week. He asked me to play. I was terrible, but we had a great time. Over here, that's my daughter's Squishmallow. She leaves it there. I let it be in the videos. It's sitting there doing its thing. I didn't even clean up the back of the space. I usually do for the filming, for the videos. I usually put in these fancy titles that are catchy, and I'm trying to teach you guys all these lists of things so people will click on the video. It's not that I'm all about clicking on the video, but you get lost in that world when it becomes your business. So I'm just letting you know that I've been thinking about that and struggling with that. And the whole point of art is lost if we start to just think about how, oh my goodness, I didn't get enough likes on this, so I'm going to only paint this. And I've struggled with that. People seem to like the flowers and not the landscapes as much, so let's just do flowers. But I like everything. So if your creative journey sounds like that, where you're just doing things because people feel like you should be doing this or thinking this or saying this, figure out what you want to do. What is giving you joy? What is making you happy when it comes to expressing yourself, when it comes to creating? So today we are painting something that I'm kind of, up in the air with, but there are elements that I love. But the thing is, I enjoyed the process of making this. And that's the point. Making art that brings you peace, whether you love it at the end or you don't. It's about the moments you spend creating. So we are going to paint, and I'm going to stop chatting with you. But I want to know in comments what you think. So let me know. We're doing Paul Rubens paint today. They're having a lovely sale until tomorrow, Monday. So if you want to get any of these palettes, click the link below. But let's get to painting. I'm excited to spend some time in art with you. All right, friends, instead of trying to make the perfect video, we're just going to have fun. I'm tired of, whoops, see, there it is. Tired of perfect. Always trying to fight it, and it's a tough thing, though. So, using my brushes today, and this is the Paul Rubens set, the 48 colors. Fantastic. I love all the pastels in there. We're using the brushes from my brush set collection. I feel like probably a week or two ago, we had about 20 sets left of the whole brush set. So definitely check those out. Link below. I've got a 9x12 piece of paper in my journal. It's already wet. Great. So we're just going to go ahead and take the number 12 filbert. If you don't have a filbert, you can use a round brush and still get similar effects. So I'm going to start with a pale yellow. So let's go. Where do I put it? We'll just put it right here. So I'm going to add some more water to the yellow to make it pale. We're going to start with just making some swoopy motions towards the center of the paper and make 5 or 6 petals. 1, 2. So it's kind of like it's little hearts. Not that it has to be, but ooh, that's pretty. Let's try that again. Double dipping with the paint. Swoop to make 2 strokes for 1 petal, 1, and I just kind of flick my wrist. We've got a beautiful loose, fun little flower. Let's add a little bit of some red wet on wet for this. Okay, we'll see how she do. All right, and let's do a few more flowers on our page. So I actually want to do kind of I'm gonna use my #1 quill for this, and we're gonna do kind of a daffodil situation. So grabbing more yellow, like to dab it, move it around on my palette. And then we are just gonna do that trumpet shape first. Hopefully my hand doesn't cover. A little oval shape, like that. And then just a little bit of that trumpet right there. And then grabbing more yellow, we're gonna go from the outside in, draw in some loose petals. Even better if they touch. You can get some spreading going on. 1, 2, 3. And then the fourth one, we're gonna grab some more paint. And then we'll go from the inside out, why not? So the fourth one right there. I'm just gonna do 2 more little ones right here. You can kind of see from the other side. The perspective doesn't allow you to see a lot of the flower. So they're touching, some of that paint is spreading. I'm loving that. Let's grab some of this really beautiful peachy color. I'm gonna use it in all of its glory, so really thick because it is so light. And side of the brush for the quill, same kind of thing we did before, 2 brush strokes, and then 2 brush strokes to create the second petal. Folks, if this is too fast, just slow it down. Just go half speed or quarter speed or whatever speed you need. And then you can just, boop, a little tiny bit of a petal there. You can just go slower, you can pause the video, you've got the power on the lovely YouTube. I want to put another flower right here. What color am I using? In my head, I'm thinking about it. Let's go with this. It's kind of a, well, what is it called? I was gonna say burnt umber, that's not true. Kind of a yellow ochre, brownish yellow, and I've got some of that cream on my brush. So whatever comes out of it, we're just gonna swoop in towards the center with these little thin petals. You can see how with this quill brush, you can make some beautiful marks. If I want it to be bigger, I can extend those petals out. But I always like to swoop them. You can see that they're not stick straight in any way. So this is reminding me of Mums. Fall is around the corner for us over here, so pretty excited. There we go. That's a lovely contrast. We've got the lights and we've got some dark value here. Let's keep going around our page with different brushes, all the different things that you can do. I want to now grab my tiny little filbert. It's a number 6. I don't know why I did that. Number 6, and we're gonna do some beautiful dark oranges over here. So I'm gonna grab some orange, more water, a little bit more concentrated paint. And we're just gonna do these little swooping motions. Twist and turn your brush so you can get thicker and thinner petals. Boop. Not even touching. Come on now. And then let's go ahead and do another one right here. Twisting and turning. All right, I like that. I do want to do a dark orange down here too. And I don't know, maybe some other oranges, but we'll see how it goes. Right now I'm kind of thinking about the shape of this paper and this bouquet. I'd love it to have sort of a flow instead of using up the whole white space. But anyway, I tend to kind of go all over the place, so we'll see how it ends up. But I do want to do, let's see, what do I want to do? A bigger flower here, so let's start there. Let's do that beautiful orange. I'm gonna take let's take the filbert. We're going upside down, people. It's gonna be a little challenging, but you can do it. It's just because it's challenging doesn't mean you can't get to it, so. All right, so we'll do those little brush strokes kind of towards the middle, and then just swooping around. Swooping around, using the side of the brush. That got really big. That's okay. She's a frisky lady. I don't know. She is gorgeous. What I want to do is add a little bit of fluffiness here. So I'm just going to grab my number 6 round, grab a little bit more of that orange, and I'm just going to do these little squiggly marks to just emulate little fluffy petals, adding in just that little mound of petals. Oh, I think she's gorgeous. Now, as you are doing all of this, I want you guys to make sure to breathe, remind yourself about the fun that we are having and that there is no perfect in this. This is just fun, play. We're just seeing what comes out of it. I would love to do a reddish orange flower here. And am I going to use the filbert? I don't know. I just wanted to have a variety of flowers because I think that's so fun. I'm going to use the number 6 just to be thin here. So swirling my brush. And I want you guys to think about, as you're doing this, kind of similar to this one, I'm just going to go from the inside out, kind of curving it around. Think about how you're feeling right now. If you're feeling any sort of tension, frustration, reminding yourself that this is just a practice. You've never painted this composition before, and maybe you're new to watercolor or you're new to this style. Congratulations, you showed up today, and that's a big thing. But just think about what you can learn today through this painting. It's not about painting it the right way or perfectly. It's about, did you enjoy yourself while you were doing it? So I want to remind you of that. Let's do another one similar to that. Just right here, I don't know, for contrast, I guess. And, were you able to have fun in this? Take a deep breath if you're feeling stressed. It really does help to slow down the thoughts, to take away that muscle tension. Remind yourself that this is a learning experiment and you're excited to see how this comes out. I like how thick that is. So I'm just going to put in a few more brush strokes here, which is going to give me some more of that thickness. All right, those are fluffy. I love that. So I want to add in some smaller flowers right here. And I think I'm going to go with, actually, you know what? Pause on that. We are going to do some greens. And then we'll see where we go. So I've got this beautiful kind of grassy green here. It's a bunch of green all over my page. And then we've got a series of kind of, there's emeralds and teals. I like this one. Oh yeah, I like this one. As you can see, I've used it a lot. And then what's this one over here? It's hard to keep track. These beautiful Paul Rubens paints are just so vibrant. You can do a lot with them. I'm going to go ahead and do some beautiful stems. And also, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like. We're just going to do really quick, short little stemmies as we're filling things in. Give this video a like. Let us know that you're enjoying this video. It's going to let other people know that we're having a good time to join this party. So I'm just making these little lines to connect everything together to the main lady. This turned out well. Sometimes when I do upside down filbert moves, it just gets a little wonky, so I'm pleased. So I'm just reminding myself of the good things that I see, because I gotta encourage myself too, honestly. We all have to. Okay, so it's starting to come together. I like the flow. I need something here, and then maybe something up here too. I think that might be nice. We have used a lot of the brushes so far. We haven't used this one, so we're going to use this one for some leaves. That's going to be great. But before we do that, let's grab that trusty quill. It is one of my favorites. Has a beautiful point, and then it holds lots of water. So much fun. Let's see. We've got some red. Let's go with red, but maybe a lighter version. So runny paint, lots of water in there. And I'm just going to do these really little swoopy motions. Dab your brush. You don't want to puddle. Yikes. Puddle. A little bit darker now. Swooping around. We're just kind of adding them here to fill in with some cuteness, some filler florals, and then I'd say just 2 little petals right there. So we've got some here. I want to see how that looks with the stems. I am concerned that it's a box, and I want more of that flow. So I'm going to do a few more over here just to stick out on that end. So just sweep over your paper with some little brush strokes. That was kind of bigger, but that's okay. And then over here too. Okay, so what I want to do is now cleaning my brush, taking my number 6, grabbing some green like we've done before, and we are just going to put a main stem here, and then we're going to connect everything with little stems. And this one looks kind of crazy, but I'm going to connect it that way. If you want to add more flowers once you have your stems, go for it. Put my stem right through here and connect that one and that one. How are you feeling? I hope you are feeling good. I'm going to grab this and do a few more little flower shapes just to fill in some details. A little bit more green. Painting loose like this can be very daunting or feel like it's daunting, but it really isn't that hard. It's once you start to get the hang of it, you'll see the value in it and how much fun you can have too. So we're gonna do some of our greens now, more of our greens. I love this dagger brush because you can just kind of cut into the paper. Let me show you what I mean. So I want it to come down this way. So I'm just gonna do like these little marks, like a fern or something. Look at how cute these are. And they have these points that you couldn't get with a round brush. I mean, you can use a round brush, but it's just so lovely. Taking some more green. I'm going to fill in with a little bit of green right here. And over here too. So I'm going to have to angle my brush all crazy awkward. If you want to be easy on yourself, just do a line. And then you start to do these little diagonal brush strokes. Boop, 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 ba-da-doop, boop, boop, boop. And that just, I mean, it makes it a very easy way to do those green leaves or a fern or whatever you want to call it. Just kind of filling it in. Those are pretty. All right, so I've got that shape, but I do want to put a little bit in here, just different color. I'm going to curve it around. And a different shade of green helps it to come together. It's a little different, a little extra pizzazz. I love that word, pizzazz. All right, so how are you doing? Kind of check in with yourself. What does your painting need still? And take a deep breath. You've got this. So proud of you for trying something new. It's always a good day when we try new things. Okay, so looking at the painting, probably put in just a few more elements here and there. I'm seeing some Christmas with this red and green, but it is definitely not a Christmas painting. While I'm thinking about composition and what else I want to add, I'd say let's start putting in the marks on the top. So we're gonna go with our filbert for the filbert flowers. And what I want to do is go with darker versions of some of these things that we've used. So for example, this pink, there's a little bit of pink in there. We didn't really use pink, but we can take some peachy color, some pink, and make some beautiful, beautiful color. And I'm just going to swoop it just a little bit here and there. And it's just one of those things where you're flicking your wrist so that you can kind of curve that around. It is not easy to do. It does take a lot of practice, but it is doable with practice. A little bit of yellow. I'm gonna put the yellow over here on this one. I know we used the quill for this, but we can use the filbert. Just a little extra. And then for this one, we used the orange. We can just go a bit darker. And I'm going to use kind of the side of the brush just to add in a few little loose petals. You see I'm flicking my wrist. This is not easy. But in order for it to look natural, it does need to curve. So this is something that you could practice over and over on a sheet of paper to kind of get the flick of the wrist down. It is tricky, but you can do it. You can do it. A little bit more of my yellow just to put in some extra marks. All right, and then this one is pretty nice already. I think I'm just gonna put in a middle. And looking at my darker paints here, I don't know if this one, I think that one is, oh, that's not dark enough. Maybe like an indigo. And we can just do this, a little bit of a stippling of a middle. To create a fancy center just for that one. Okay, so what I want to do is grab some more of these paints, a little bit more concentrated, and start to go over some of those places with some darker marks. And that's going to give us the shadows, that contrast that's going to make such beautiful boldness that we need here. So I like to go over my stems sometimes, and then this too. I'm not covering everything, but I'm just going ahead and making things a little bit darker. You can use the quill, you can use the dagger, whatever you'd like, but see, I'm leaving a lot without it. And I also like to fill in some white space, so I'm going to grab some of this really runny paint, and I'm just going to kind of dab in between flowers for the idea of some greenery. Just to give it a really full bouquet. And then for these guys, let's take that little filbert and we can just do a few of those little flick marks here and there for some depth. I just put a little bit, just a little bit there. Continuing to analyze how you're feeling, how your painting is turning out. If there's anything you'd want to do differently next time, there's always a great time to just figure that out. I'm adding a few more petals because you can do that. So this one is going to need a center as well. So let's take, let's go ahead with the number 6. And I want it to be fancy. So she's going to have a green. Dab the brush to take off some of that water. And we're just going to do that stippling action like we did before. Cleaning the brush. And then we are going to take that indigo. It's a beautiful navy color. And we're just going to stipple lightly around it, trying not to touch the green. And I'm just kind of going outside the circle, especially in just a few places, just to make it look a little bit more natural. Sort of getting close, but trying not to touch the green. If you touch the green, it's not the end of the world. Nothing bad is going to happen. It's going to be okay. And then for this one, let's continue with that same indigo for this guy, this gal. So I'm leaving some white space. I'm just going to do that indigo color. Okay, so they're starting to come together. I'm noticing this green is going into my petals. I'm just going to take a clean, damp brush, and I can soak that up. And it should stop running. And then we might go over that with another color. We'll see. Okay, so I do want to put a little bit of splatter. We're just going to go with the orange. So just some runny paint. A little bit of splatter. I like to do 3 different places just for some whimsy. If there's anything else that you want to add, it's a great time to do that. Go ahead and dry it if you need to, and we'll do the final details. Okay, one detail that makes everything much more realistic, in my opinion, is taking a nice green color, dabbing your brush, and then what you want to do is actually put in the green right here to connect the flower and the stem. So just little lines. And I like to go pretty concentrated with this paint. So if you need to do anything else, like go over your stems again, this is a great time to do that. Put in some stems here. Darken something up. Go as concentrated as I can. Some of my paint got away from me, so I'm just embracing that as part of the whole thing. Sometimes things don't turn out exactly how you want them, and so reminding yourself that it's always a learning experience. Whatever you're doing, what can you learn from it? How can you grow? How can you do it better next time if you feel like it needs to be better? I'm just going to do brushstroke here, here, and here. Just to add in a little bit more fullness. And darken this up a little bit too. Okay. Sometimes you just need a few little quick brush strokes for some reason. Okay. One other thing that I can think of right now is I do want to clean this up a little bit. So taking that filbert, because I do have a cheaper paper and sometimes things run a little bit crazy. I want to grab some of this pink here. More concentrated. Dabbing the brush so I don't have so much on my brush, and we're just gonna go over some of those marks. One more time, dab it. Sometimes when you put your marks, they're just not as dark as you wanted. And you just gotta go over it again. Or like maybe you started as what you thought was what you wanted, the darkness, and then it ends up not being as dark as you would like. And so then you can go with a third layer and just put that in. And now she is the star of the show. All right, friends, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this painting lesson, and I hope you learned to relax and just enjoy the process. So I know that was a mouthful at the beginning, my little speech, my little rant. I don't care if people care about it or not. I hope that it's something that resonates with one of you or two of you, that it's something that maybe you've struggled with or thought about. I just think we get so stuck in being creative and being perfect and being a star. Because honestly, the more people that see our videos and like them, the more people will see them and like them, the more people will buy the things that we're selling, and then our business will grow, and then we don't have to worry as much. But there's always worries, the things that grow. There's many new levels of concerns to take care of. So anyway, I want to be content with the process, not only of my life, but of making art. And I hope that you also feel the same way for yourself. So a few things to mention again, the Paul Rubens paints. You saw the different palettes that I have. They're on sale until tomorrow. So go ahead and grab some if you're needing some more paint. And if you don't need more paint, maybe you'll need it later. I don't know. I always love a good sale. And the other thing is I don't have a Monday class because my course is launching. So that waitlist is still linked below. If you want to get on the waitlist for a discount, I'm so excited. I put my heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears, whatever into it. Like I said, pushing through it for 2 months. And I feel like that was a pretty quick amount of time to be able to accomplish it, but it was a lot of hours. But I enjoyed that. So little landscapes, smaller, and then some larger ones as well, just to get you that overview of how to do it. I'm gonna stop talking now. Apparently I think I'm talking to a friend on the phone or something. So anyway, happy painting, happy mental health, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all. Mwah.